Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sherard Show. I'm your host, Sherard, live on location in Hollywood, California, for a very power-packed show this afternoon. Today we have a very, very special guest to my right. This young lady has toured with Rod Stewart himself for the last 14 years. She's written albums. She's also opened up as well as performed with Lady Gaga, just to name a few. And she's going to be stopping by the Sherard Show this afternoon on our very special segment entitled Hollywood's Next Big Thing. You know, with this passing year of all of the various legends that have passed away this year, just in the halfway point of the year, it's time to hear some uplifting news so we can look forward to those individuals that are here to replace those ones that have passed on. Not necessarily replace, but fill the space that those various individuals have passed on. And I'm so enchanted to have this young lady. She's very, very beautiful, very articulate, all the way from Germany. And she's one of the greatest saxophone players I've ever heard. But I'll leave it to you to be able to judge that. She has music videos, and I'm very honored to have her on the Sherard Show. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, give it up for Kashi. Welcome to the Sherard Show.
Thank you so much.
You doing all right?
Yes, I'm doing great.
You're looking absolutely fabulous. And what I was saying about you in the introduction is absolutely true. You are a wonderful sax player. But now tell us a little bit about what inspired you to start playing the saxophone.
Oh, I didn't start until I was 21 years old. I did want to play when I was 12, but I wasn't allowed to. My parents wanted me to become something serious, like a secretary, and then maybe marry and have children. But after I got old enough and I moved out, I decided I want to start playing the saxophone.
Now, you know, a lot of times you just hear basically men are the ones playing saxophones. So what made you jump over the piano, jump over the guitar, just to go to the sax?
I saw Al Jarreau play with David Sanborn when I was a young kid, and I was just blown away by how he played it, by the beauty of the sound and by the beauty of the actual instrument. So that's why I wanted to play the saxophone.
So you started playing, you started getting good. What was your first gig or your first paid gig when you started playing sax?
I joined a band, which was kind of like a marching band in Germany. It was a crazy bunch of 30 people. Some of them excellent musicians, some of them not so good, like myself, because I had only been playing for a year, and I think I couldn't even play all the scales on the saxophone yet. I was just kind of like honking my way through the gig. But it didn't matter because everybody was kind of like, you know, it was kind of loose. So, but we had a bunch of paid gigs, so I started making some money, like, early on.
So now, you were playing still in Germany, you're about 21, 22 years old at that time?
Yeah.
And then, so you got this gig, you're making a little money. Now, when did it happen that the legendary Rod Stewart approached you to play the sax in his band?
Oh, there were a lot of things that happened in between. Well, I got the gig with Rod in 2001, right after 9/11. So that's, you know, there were like many years in between. I moved here in 97 from Germany.
That recent, 1997?
That recent?
It seems recently. What is that, 18 years ago? Oh, wow,
Yeah.
that's 19 years ago. That's not that recent.
It's not that recent.
So you were like 15, huh?
No, I was a little old. Just a tiny bit older than that. If I had been 15, I hadn't been playing the saxophone yet. So you're not doing your math right there.
Purposely, on purpose,
Oh,
ladies and
I see,
gentlemen,
I
on
see.
purpose.
So, no, I moved here in 97 and I paid my dues. I went out like for 4 years, just me and my saxophone. I found like local bars where bands were playing, and I just introduced myself and said, hey, I just moved here from Germany and can I sit in with you? I would like to meet people. So that's what I did, and met a lot of people like that.
You know what the word gumption means?
Gumption?
Gumption, yeah.
No.
Gumption means a lot of courage. You got a lot of courage to come in and say, you know what, here's my sax. I'm coming in here, can I sit with you all? And you know, you don't know how good these guys play. They don't know how good or bad you may play, but to do that, that's pretty commendable. So where did that lead you?
Well, it ended up being a little bit frustrating after a couple of years because I was still kind of like struggling. And I was actually ready to give up and move back to Germany right before 9/11 happened. But then, like magically, I ended up being at the right place at the right moment and meet the right person that then invited me to audition for Rod Stewart.
So Rod Stewart approached you and was like, I want you to come and audition for me.
No, it wasn't him personally.
Oh, okay.
No, it was his. I met his MD through mutual friends, and they were looking for a female saxophone player, but they actually already had another girl. But then they started rehearsing with her. That didn't work out. So I got a last-minute call on the last day of their rehearsal. I think Rod decided, this is not working. I'll get me somebody else. So I came in and I auditioned and I got the gig. So I had to basically do the first show with no rehearsals at all.
Now, why was it? Because it was like at the last minute he was going on tour, so you had to just jump right into it?
Yeah.
And how was that?
I was scared, shitless. I was so scared. It was terrifying. Here I am, like this little girl. Well, not really little girl, but kind of innocent girl from like Germany. I've never played in front of like 15,000 people in my life. And all of a sudden, like I got thrown there in this arena and had to play all these solos. Back then, I had a lot of solos. I think like 8 or 9 solos in the show. So it was nerve-wracking.
15,000 people and you had to stand up there and do a solo. Now, I looked at some of your YouTube footage. It doesn't look like you're nervous at all when you're doing your solos. I know this is way after it,
yes.
But it doesn't look like you had any jitters ever, if someone could ever say that. So how were you able to get past all that and just do your thing?
It's just being an actress, really, because I am still nervous. Actually, the most nervous I was when we did this gig for Princess Diana. I don't know if you saw that video. We did a song called Baby Jane, and I have a solo in that. And this is like probably the biggest concert I've ever played.
Now that was at her funeral? Or that was
no, that was her birthday or her anniversary. I think it was her birthday party, but she already had passed. So, and this concert was being broadcast, I believe, in 143 countries all over the world. And it was live at Wembley Stadium, so there were like 80,000 people there. And I was so nervous that my lips were shaking. And as a saxophone player, that's not a good thing, because that's how you have your embouchure. So you're like trying to play, and
did you miss a note?
Well, if you listen to my solo on YouTube, you can hear like how at the very end I overblow the note. So I'm like trying to play a high note and it goes like.
It probably all sounds good to me because I don't know anything about a saxophone, playing about a saxophone.
Yeah.
I can hear the notes, being a guitar player if you miss one in a piano. I'm learning the guitar, but definitely in the piano. But sax, I'll be like, oh, that sounds good. That's great, So I couldn't be able to tell you that. But we're talking to Kashi, this legendary young lady who's toured with Rod Stewart for 14 years. She's also opened up with Lady Gaga, played with Lady Gaga at the Grammys.
I need to correct you there. I did not open up for Lady Gaga.
You performed
I performed with her at the Grammys.
And that was last year, right?
No, that was just a couple of months ago. That was this year. Yeah.
Wow. And we're going to ask you more about that when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to kind of catch our breath, and then we're going to have more with Kashi right after this.
Are you driving a vehicle less than 20 years old and with under 175,000 miles? What if it broke down today? Could you afford the costly repairs? If not, you're not alone. Join the thousands of people using a Toco vehicle service contract to help with covered repairs. Call the number on your screen for a free no-obligation quote for a plan that fits your vehicle. You pay an affordable monthly payment with no down payment. And when your car breaks down, just bring it to your favorite licensed repair facility, and the Toco plan will pay the bill for covered repairs directly to the shop. Subject to deductible and plan limits. You can cancel at any time. Cancellation fee may apply. Toco plans help Rob from Utah by paying over $500 to replace a fuel pump, and Jeanette from New York by paying more than $1,000 to replace an air conditioner compressor. You can have confidence knowing that all Toco plans are backed by an AmTrust financial insurance carrier. Toco plans also include great extras like rental car and towing benefits. So don't get stuck with unexpected auto repair bills. Call Toco today for a free quote.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherard Show. I'm your host, Sherard, live on location in Hollywood, California, talking to the lovely Kashi. Kashi is a beautiful saxophone player who's toured with Rod Stewart, and she also performed just a few months ago at the Grammys with Lady Gaga, as well as many other things. We were kind of talking in our last segment about what inspired you to pick up the sax, but also how it was touring with Rod Stewart. Now, tell me a little bit of how it was performing at the Grammys. That's pretty high stakes as well.
Oh, it was amazing, especially to have the honor to do the tribute to David Bowie, who I always was a huge fan of.
Wasn't he phenomenal?
Oh, amazing, amazing. I love David Bowie. And there was a lot of saxophone in his music. He was a saxophone player himself. You know that probably, right?
Yeah, I know that. And he was a multi-instrument guy, was he not? So now you got a chance to do that. I know it's pretty honorable. But I was blessed with a very interesting scenario. I was able to have a piece of your music. She has 3 CDs. Now, one of the CDs I really I couldn't take out of my deck. As a matter of fact, it's still in my CD deck. And this one right here, I want you to hold this right quick. Now tell us a little bit about your inspiration for this.
This is actually all 70s inspired soul/Motown music. So it's not really like smooth jazz, because I don't really like smooth jazz that much.
Now, why do you don't like smooth jazz?
It doesn't have that much soul, in my opinion. I like more soulful music.
So you're a very soulful person. Now, did you start listening to Motown when you're back in Germany?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, what particular artist really kind of ignited you from Motown?
Well, 70s, I loved, Junior Walker, especially, and Sam Cooke, Temptations, Supremes.
So, yeah, we've had the Supremes on the show as well, and I'm a humongous Sam Cooke fan, so yeah. I've had many people who've worked with him on the show many times. Unbelievable individual. So now, do you sing?
Not really.
No.
I actually sang on one of the tracks on one of the other records that you have right there.
Now, which one? Is it this one?
No, the other one.
Oh, it's the Horn Star.
Horn Star, yeah, on this
there?
one.
Now, what's the?
I did.
What was the gist of the inspiration by that title?
Oh, to tell you, to answer the question before, I'm singing on a song called Baby Jane, which is actually a Rod Stewart song, and I did a cover, like my own version of that on this one.
Really? Now, I don't have that one in my collection. I want the Horn Star.
Well, this is dance music. So the story behind this is, I'm a horn player, obviously. That's what people, they like saxophone or trombone or trumpet, people call that horn players. So I figured Horn Star would be a perfect name for a saxophone player. So that was my idea to make a new record and name it that. But I figured you can't really make a jazz record naming it Horn Star. It needs to be a little more edgy than that. So I had the idea of making like a house, like electro house record, and that's what this is.
So now, in your career, spanning for the several years, how many CDs have you released? Are these the 3, or is there more?
Just 3, yeah. Just 3.
Now, where will one be able to purchase it? I know I'm going to have a lot of new fans, people really wanting to know where to purchase your music or see you live. Where will they be able to purchase your CDs?
You can purchase them on iTunes, on CD Baby, and through my website, and I think Amazon, anywhere like online really.
Now tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind Walking the Dog. I really love that video of you walking the dog, playing the sax in Beverly Hills. That's pretty catchy. What was the inspiration behind that?
Well, that's the first single off that record, Never Stand Still. And the inspiration was, I had this song called Walking the Dog, and I have a dog.
What kind of dog you have?
Australian cattle dog. So this dog loves to play ping pong. Basically, when you play ping pong with this dog, if you watch the video, you'll see it goes crazy and just kind of like runs around the ping pong table. So I figured that would be a great picture to have in the video. So that's why I decided to do that song and to make a video about it. And that was like one of the scenes that I had in mind. Everything else kind of like developed around that and kind of like just happened.
Mm-hmm. So now, with music today, opposed to what you what you played and what you wrote a CD off of with the Brown CD. Tell me, what is your take on music? Do you like the music from the soulful era of Motown, or do you like the era now of the music?
I'm more of an old school music listener. Yeah.
So you would like, and I can agree with
Yeah.
you because that's how I am. I love those the Motowns. I even like the doo-wop. Heck, I'm on a mission, and you know this, everybody back home. I'm on a mission to bring back the doo-wop. I need somebody to help me to bring back the doo-wop. Are you gonna help me?
I'm not sure how I can help you. I don't think there's really saxophone on doo-wop. Is there?
Well,
It's like a lot of vocals and doo-wop,
well, we
doo-wop.
can figure it out together. You're very influential. Dog, why don't you tour with Rod Stewart, so you know you got the influence. So you can be able to help me bring the doo-wop back, huh?
Yeah, I can't sing though.
You
I don't know. I don't know what I can do.
Well, you certainly can play the saxophone. Now, Kashi, I know you have you're very busy. You have a lot of things going on. But what can the audience back home look forward to upcoming with Kashi? There's fans out there that just want to know what you got coming up next. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
It's all kind of like in the makes right now. So I don't really have any gigs per se. Actually, that's not true. I have one gig in Newport Beach coming up, July 31st. But that's just going to be like a little jazz quartet kind of a thing. And then there's going to be gigs soon, but I'm working on when and where.
You got a wonderful new management team. They just getting right to work. It's going to be phenomenal things coming up for Kashi. Kashi, where can your fans be able to keep up with you? Your Facebook, Twitter?
Yeah, of course. Facebook. I also have a Twitter account. I hardly ever go on there. I'm horrible with that. But Facebook, yeah. I have an album page and a personal Katja Rieckermann Facebook page.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to wrap it up with Kashi right after this and these commercial breaks.
Are you driving a vehicle less than 20 years old and with under 175,000 miles? What if it broke down today? Could you afford the costly repairs? If not, you're not alone. Join the thousands of people using a Toco vehicle service contract to help with covered repairs. Call the number on your screen for a free no-obligation quote for a plan that fits your vehicle. You pay an affordable monthly payment with no down payment. And when your car breaks down, just bring it to your favorite licensed repair facility, and the Toco plan will pay the bill for covered repairs directly to the shop. Subject to deductible and plan limits. You can cancel at any time. Cancellation fee may apply. Toco plans helped Rob from Utah by paying over $500 to replace a fuel pump, and Jeanette from New York by paying more than $1,000 to replace an air conditioner compressor. You can have confidence knowing that all Toco plans are backed by an AmTrust financial insurance carrier. Toco plans also include great extras like rental car and towing benefits. So don't get stuck with unexpected auto repair bills. Call Toco today for a free quote.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherard Show. I'm your host, Sherard, live on location, talking to the beautiful, beautiful Kashi about her career, about playing the sax as well as touring with Rod Stewart, and her wonderful CDs. You've got to pick up her CDs. They're available on iTunes. Just pick it up wherever great music is sold. I got my copy. You can't have it. But I want to say this, Kashi, before we let you out of here. Now, what are the keys for those who are back home who really want to learn how to play the sax? What are the keys to being a great saxophone player? What are the three things you need to possess?
Dedication, and patience, and talent.
Now, how do you get your see, for me, I'm a piano player, my fingers really don't get tired, and I'm not doing any breathing, in terms of breathing into anything. But when you're playing a sax, you're doing a lot of breathing, and there's a hand movement and things like that. So how are you able to pace yourself when you're a beginner?
It's a very good question. You gotta play long tones all the time. I know it sounds really boring, but it's really important for your breathing.
Wow. So now, if I started playing, and I'm just joking, I'm not gonna start playing the saxophone player, I gotta stay in my lane. But if I was to pick up the sax, how long would it probably take me from very, very dedicated to starting to see results?
Oh, pretty fast. You could probably play like what's that children's song? Have a Little Lamb, something?
Mary had a little.
You could probably play that in like a week.
Hey, Mike, I think we might start doing the sax. I might start playing the sax. I want to play Mary Had a Little Lamb, in terms of that. Well, I appreciate you stopping by the Sherard Show, Kashi. please keep us posted on your dates and what you have coming up. I'm a big fan of yours. I was an instant fan when I saw you. She's beautiful to look at, even better looking in person, ladies and gentlemen. And she stopped by the Sherard Show. So when we come back on our next episode, we have some very, very special guests. But also I want to let you know that this lady right here to my right, this is Hollywood's next big superstar. If you don't believe me, don't friend me on Facebook anymore, okay? I won't like you. But this is Kashi, this is Sherard. When we come back, we're gonna have a wonderful, explanation. How do you say the word? We're gonna have a big, big show coming up right after this. I'm Sherard. See you next week.